What's up, it's your boy Super Mario 1990 coming at you with a Coming to America trailer reaction. It's Coming to America, the number 2 as opposed to the word 2, which is really cool for a sequel title. I see what they did there, that's nice. But this movie is coming 33 years after the original, after its predecessor, which is crazy. Like that has to be like the longest awaited time, like over 3 decades for a sequel to come out. Like I don't think even the Terminator took that long to be back in between sequels. So I mean, it's older than me how many years apart these movies are. And so that came out back in '88, which was slightly before my time, but I still saw this movie like 1,000 times. It was a straight classic. And I remember a few years ago I had saw like an interview on YouTube, and even when Arsenio Hall had his show come back, Eddie Murphy was on there, and they talked about how come a sequel was never made to Coming to America back at that time. And Eddie Murphy had said that Africans who were like living in America and came from Africa, they had claimed he took their story and stole it and made it into a movie, so they tried to sue him. And so many Africans were doing that, I guess, at the time, which was kind of funny. I mean, I don't know if the story is true, but I feel like he don't need to lie about that, but it's pretty funny. So he wanted to, I guess, avoid lawsuits, but I guess he must have looked past it because we're getting a sequel now. And I mean, I can believe that because, you know, back in the 80s, Eddie Murphy was killing it. Like, I actually, like, would, you know, wished that I was like born back in the late 70s just so I could witness Eddie Murphy's career, like the golden age of his career back in the 80s. Because he was putting out bangers back then, like his stand-up comedies, Delirious and Raw. He had movies like Beverly Hills Cop, The Golden Child, 48 Hours, Coming to America, of course. And so when I was coming up in the 90s, he was still doing bangers. Like he had Boomerang, he had The Nutty Professor, he had Life, and like Martin Lawrence, he was like one of my favorite comedic actors coming up. So him and Eddie Murphy teaming up and headlining a movie together, that was like a comedy dream team duo for me. So I really enjoyed and appreciated that movie. But then he would kind of backtrack. He would do things like The Nutty Professor 2. He would do Dr. Dolittle 1 and 2 and Bowfinger, and I'm looking like, yeah, these movies ain't really hitting like the other movies you be doing. And then in the 2000s, he was still kind of back and forth, mostly back. Like personally, I appreciated I Spy and Showtime. I like those 2 movies. I just like buddy cop things, you know? So I appreciated those 2 movies. But then he would turn around and do Adventures of Pluto Nash and Meet Dave. And I'm like, bruh, what kind of bets are you losing that you gotta agree to star in these films? But anyway, we're gonna check out this trailer to the Coming to America sequel, and I'm gonna give y'all my impressions, so here we go. Hey, got the barbers back.
I've just discovered that I may have a son here in this land. How much child support is you getting from the king? Pays no child support.
No child support for 30 years and you came back? You was a dummy.
Hello, I am Hakeem Joffer, King of Zamunda. You are the heir to the throne. Yes, my son.
He's supposed to be like the prince of Wakanda.
Wakanda is a fictional place.
Not to everybody.
Zamunda is a very real nation.
I don't need no handout.
Wait a minute.
Alright, I'm gonna pay. Okay.
Presente, King Akeem's son from America.
Oh, it's looking nice.
And my mom's.
And his mom's.
Children, this is your brother.
Hey, Quay. I'm sorry I slept with your man.
Is that what we even met?
It's not like you're the first man I've ever been with.
What did you just say about the other men?
It's
I always thought that Mika was going to be queen. A woman isn't allowed to rule Zamunda. It's the law.
Did it ever occur to you that Mika wanted to be your heir?
Don't you dare banish me from my own bedroom.
How you doing, Hakeem?
Getting it from everywhere. I've upset my family.
You must be strong.
The jungle isn't about nothing more than to take over Zamunda.
Present, Haya.
I'm a king.
Put your hands together.
Like that.
Say it again.
It's right over here.
Sexual chocolate.
Style is foreign to my kingdom, but it's impressive.
That's right. Let me hear you say, hey, ho.
Hey ho! Almost ready to become a prince.
Almost. Take his time.
Ceremonial circumcision.
Big bone.
They're gonna sharpen you too, nephew.
Watch fifth. Alright. So we looking pretty good. We looking pretty good. That circumcision part, that's rough. I hope they was joking about that. But so I'm liking it. No immediate things that I'm seeing where it's gonna be, better than the original, but that's like a curse with any sequel. You just always, anything that comes in the set, you always compare it to its predecessor or whatever follows it. So that's just always gonna be a curse. But hopefully I'm wrong. But it does look good. It does look funny. I'm liking that he added Tracy Morgan, Leslie Jones to it, and man, the boy Wesley Snipes gonna be in this movie. And for me, that's huge because man, Wesley Snipes, that was my dude. Like back in the '90s, like I felt like he was pretty funny too. And he had them action movies, and he was a pretty good dramatic actor when he needed to be as well. And he had them martial arts moves though too. Like honestly, like I would like always watch him, right, and like try to like copy his mannerisms, his moves. I broke a few things in the house trying to do roundhouse kicks, but I was breaking them down pretty good. But it's gonna be nice to just see them, like Eddie Murphy and like Wesley Snipes, getting consistent work again too. Like that's really good, and I really like them both. And My Name is Dolomite when they did that for Netflix. So this will be another great collab with them. So I really can't wait to see that, how he incorporates these new characters. And then I'm also seeing nods to the original as well. He's bringing back the barbershop characters, all the barbers. And it's kind of funny because it's like, who is still keeping them in business? Because they was old back in the 80s. So we in a year like 20 something, like imagine them still trying to cut somebody's hair today. Like, you cannot like sit in a chair, like your hairline gonna be all the way messed up because they was old back then, so they really got to have the trimmers and the shakes like something crazy. Like you got to be like, yo, I just come here for the good conversation. I don't let them get nowhere near my hair with them clippers. I saw what they did back to Cuba Gooding Jr. back in '88. I just come here for the conversation. But they put Sexual Chocolate in here. I saw a glimpse of Sexual Chocolate. Now anybody who saw the original, we know Sexual Chocolate is the originator of the mic drop. Sexual Chocolate! And then he dropped the mic. And now that's a thing now. So it's like Eddie Murphy gonna have to bring it. Like I know he's not gonna disappoint. Like Eddie Murphy's gonna bring us an epic drop the mic moment for 2021 if you're gonna bring Sexual Chocolate in this movie. I can't wait to see that. But personally too, like Coming to America being a classic that it is, like from beginning to end, my favorite scenes and my favorite characters were like the barbershop scenes and all the characters that Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall played in that scene. So I really can't wait to see it in this movie too, because it's like, if you look at the original one, like they was funny, they had banter going back and forth, they were bickering back and forth, but at the same time it was also like timely conversations. And so big in the year 2021 and so many years have passed, I wonder what they're going to speak about like for this new generation. Like are they going to have like opportunities to like talk about and riff on things and have opinions about things that are like going on nowadays, because it's like it's a much different world nowadays than it was back in the 80s. So I just can't wait to see like if they have like something timely or funny to say or something to poke fun at in these scenes. What are they going to be arguing and bickering about this time, So I can't wait to see that. And like the barbershop seems like really iconic for me, I feel like too, because like I wouldn't be surprised if those barbershop movies that Ice Cube had starred and produced in were like somewhat influenced or inspired by that movie, because they just felt like real characters. Like if you ever went like a neighborhood barbershop, you felt like you knew those characters that Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall had portrayed in that particular scene. Like in some way, shape, or form, you felt like you kind of knew them if you've ever had that experience. So I can't wait to see that. And you're seeing older characters come back. Now, a couple of gripes that I do have. I had heard that this movie is actually PG-13 as opposed to R, like in the original. So I'm kind of like, you can still do some things with a PG-13 movie. It can still be funny. But it's like Eddie Murphy being the F-bomb king that he is. Like, I don't want to see him limited, you know? But when you think about it, though, it's like his barbershop characters, they are getting old. And they didn't really use the word that much. So they can be funny without using that word. And Hakeem, he just doesn't cuss. There was only that one time.
What does dumb fuck mean?
And that was pretty funny. But you don't need to see Hakeem be cussing at all. That's just not good. He's not like that. And Samuel Jackson, he was the one, he had that one little cameo, but he was cussing a lot. But you might not see him in this movie because, you know, he tried to stick up, remember he tried to stick up McDowell's, like, I know it was armed robbery at the fast food joint, so he probably not doing time for that. That was like 33 years ago, so he probably out of jail by now. But I wouldn't be surprised though if he had a cameo in this movie, like a surprise hidden cameo in this movie. I wouldn't be surprised because it's like Samuel Jackson, if they approached him, he would do it. He would do a cameo for this movie. Like, he ain't above that. Like, that man, he will add like the 10th million movie to his resume. Like, he would have no problem. He would be down for it. I hope he is in this movie. That'd be cool to see him. We already got McDowell, saw a clip of him. So, you know, that was like one gripe. The other one is him having an illegitimate son. Like, I hope they really explain that more. I know they say it was before he had met old girl, but it's like, I don't know, it's like something about that, just having an illegitimate child. It kind of like takes away a little bit from his innocence, like, because I really like this character. I don't want to like go back in the original and kind of like lose respect for him, because he was just like, you know, so innocent, naive, and, you know, just like ignorant and, you know, just literal at times. Like, even little things, like when he was talking about the football game to McDowell, he was like, I saw the Giants of New York go against the Packers of Green Bay, and they kicked the ball full of pigskin through an H. It was most exhilarating. And then McDowell's looking like, man, if you want to keep this job, stay off the drugs. And Hakeem's just looking like, oh, okay. And he'd go back to mopping. And it was like, it was hilarious, but it was like little things like that. It was just like, it made him so much more likable and innocent. So it's kind of like, I hope him having like an illegitimate child, or, you know, as they say in the hood, them outside children, I hope that don't like really affect his innocence as much. I hope I can get past that, but, you know, we'll see. But those are my only two gripes. I do think that the movie will still be funny, even though it's PG-13. It'll still be funny. Hopefully the whole, you know, outside kid thing can be explained a little bit. But it looks like it'll be good. It's coming out March 5th. It's exclusive to Amazon Prime, as you saw. And so I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna watch it, because they be trying to kill us broke folk with these subscriptions. Like, it's like, come on, man. Like, we got bills to pay. We got more important things to be spending our pennies on. We can't subscribe to every little thing that come out. Like, that stuff adds up, bruh. And I gotta find out who I'm gonna mooch off of, you know, to watch this movie one time. And I gotta figure that out. But I haven't actually used my like free trial yet for Amazon Prime, so I still got that. I've been saving it because I want to take advantage of that 2-day, you know, shipping that Prime offers. But I'm like, I never really shop often on Amazon. I want to take advantage of it where I shop a lot, you know, during, you know, within the month or however long they give you for the free trial. Like, I want to like take advantage of it the most. But I only shop on there from time to time. I don't shop often, so it's like we'll see how I watch it. I'll figure that out. But yeah, but this is your boy Super Mario 1990 coming at y'all with that Coming to America trailer reaction. Let me know if y'all looking forward to the sequel, if y'all think it's gonna be good or not. What was your favorite part of the original? Like, does it still hold up? What was your favorite line, scene, characters, you know, joke, anything? But yeah, this is your boy Super Mario 1990, and I'm out. Peace in.